as Ulysses emphasizes that he has his own responsibility to do or his own work, it seems that he has made his decision to follow his own responsibility, and that's why he immediately shifts from the talking about his son, from the attention given to his description of his son and how his son is able to rule this kingdom, because his temper is very much similar to the temper of the people in Ithaca. So he shifts this attention from his son to the port of Ithaca, and which means that he has shifted mentally, he has shifted himself to the resolution of leaving this place and starts his own work. When he says he works his work and I mine, it means that he is shifting mentally and willfully. He shifts himself from the state of staying at home to the state of movement and activity. So by shifting our attention, he says that there is a shift which is lying in the port of Ithaca, and this shift is preparing to sail, to set sail, and he starts to talk about every detail concerning sailing and the experiences that this ship would encounter in its sailing. So he says, there gloom the dark broad seas. He refers to the darkness of the seas, referring to the deep experiences that this ship and its sailors would have in their traveling. And he says that there is darkness and sunshine, there is thunder, there is danger, and there are good times. He says that there are, as if he is referring to the good and bad times that man would, or the sailor would have in his voyages through the sea. But he refers to himself and to his sailors that they are souls that have toiled and roughed and thought with me. They are all, he says what? He is now addressing his mariners. He says that we are together, are similar souls. We are together similar to each other because we have experienced the same experiences that many of us encounter together the bad experiences and the good experiences, bad times and good times. And this what made them let's say what molded their free will. They have become free hearts and free foreheads. It means that although he is referring to their weakness as they are old, and this weakness, it was only physical weakness, but their hearts were still free, and they have a free forehead. It means that their will is free also. And their forehead is representative of their own personalities, that they have confidence in themselves. Although they are old, yet we have, or they have their own responsibility to manage. They have their honor and their toil. They have a responsibility to get through and never to give up. So these experiences, bad and good times, gave them the free will and a lot of confidence in themselves that they can manage, in spite of their old age, they can manage. Then he shifts in the coming line from lines 51 to 56. He shifts his attention to the idea that every man would be afraid of, which is the idea of death. He says he knows that they would die in their voyage. And of course, he is addressing not only himself. His monologue is not only to himself, but also to his mariners. He says that death closes all. Death would end everything. It ends the life of everything. So we are going to die. But still he believes that before going to death, ere the end, it means before the end, we have to do some good work. We have to make our end um, in a very honorable end by doing some good work of a noble tone or a noble note. It means that he prefers to die as a worthy man, as a man who was worthy of living, who had fought against the will of the gods during the Trojan War. Now he is as if the writer here is relating his poem to the past, his own poem, which is in the present, to the past, as if he wants to say that Ulysses is the same person who had fought in the Trojan War. He is the same person who is talking now. Okay, so here he links between the past and the present, and of course there is another link to the future when Ulysses travels and goes in his voyage. Uh, of course, the word ere is an old poetic word that means before. And Ulysses observes the sunset and the arrival of night, but it seems like he is thinking about his own death. Here, when he talks about the darkness of night and the sunset, he as if it is a reminder that he is an old-aged person and he would encounter his own death. But this will not stop his will from, or will not stop his decision to go and fight his own battle against death. And he relates his feeling of death with the waning or with the moaning of the lights and maybe even the wind. He says lights begin to twinkle from the rocks. And he is leaving. He is leaving now. This long day of inactivity to a more active, to a more worthy way of living. Now, in these lines, Ulysses is describing or is talking as they are now in the sea, in the middle of the sea. They have sailed. Here, when he says, "Come, my friends," it means that they are now in the sea. Now he turns out to address his friends, the mariners, during this part of the poem. He tells them that it is never too late to go and search for new lands. He says it is not late to seek the newer world. Of course, this newer world is a reference to the places, to the experiences, to the let's say adventures that were not still known for him and his people or his mariners. He is urging his mariners to push off, to continue working, and to continue working on the ship, and never to sit down. He says that push off and sitting well in order to smite the surrounding pharaohs. He says that you have to be sure of yourselves, to sit in an erect way, in a proper way that makes you able to smite or strike the pharaohs. The pharaohs here, ladies, are the tracks which are made by the ship in the water when it is moving. So he says that by your working, by your oars, you are going to strike these marks, which shows that they are in activity. They are in the activity of sailing. So he says that we have to keep working and sit in the proper way in order to achieve our purpose. Now, the purpose here may mean their destiny, because he says that we are going to sail, for my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset. His destiny is to go beyond the sunset, which is the continuity of the voyage, or to achieve our attention, that we are going to sail as far as we can, because their purpose or their intention is to sail and to continue their voyages for the sake of knowledge. Then he uses a classical allusion to the Greek mythology, referring to when he says, and the baths of all the western stars until I die. We are going to go after the baths of the western stars, as if he's referring to the Greek mythology, that the stars are bathing in their own river, or this is a reference to the idea that the earth is surrounded the earth is a flat, and the ocean is surrounding it. So the stars are bathing in the ocean of that earth, because the earth is surrounded by all these oceans and seas. Now in these lines it shows that he is so optimistic about his voyage, because even when he says until I die, he is not referring to the moment of his death in let's say in a pessimistic way. On the contrary, he is happy that he will die in this situation. Dear ladies, in these last lines, as if Ulysses is summing up his final decision, and he is urging his mariners to continue in their decision to continue voyaging and to continue seeking for a new experience. And that's why he says it is never too late to seek for a newer world. And this newer word is the word that is not acknowledged to them yet. It is the knowledge that they didn't experience, or the knowledge that they didn't got yet, and or they hadn't got yet. And that's why he is urging them to continue traveling and reading the storms. And here, this is a symbol for life problems. And he says that although they are all lost their strength, I mean physical strength, which they had in their old days, although they are not now the same strong mariners who used to struggle with the storms of life and the storms of the of the sea. And although they are not the same people who were, I mean, they are not the same strong people who were fighting against the heavens and earth, yet he says that we used to be one equal temper of heroic hearts. We used to be having strong hearts and heroic hearts, and although these heroic hearts are made weak by time and by their fate, yet they are still having their strong will. Their strong will is never fading. It is never vanishing. It is sustained, and they can sustain this strong will by resolving to continue their voyages into knowledge, or for the sake of knowledge. And that's why he finishes his the poet finishes his poem by the line said by Ulysses, that they have to continue to strive, to seek, to find, and never to yield, not to yield any sign of surrender for stopping this thirst, or subduing, overcoming this thirst for knowledge is not allowed. It is completely and totally refused. And that's why this last line is Ulysses' final word, final decision for himself first and for his mariners, that they will never give up. And in fact, this line has become a logo for every attempt to continue struggling to get your purpose. That any sign of surrender is never accepted. With this line, as if the poet is encouraging people to pursue their knowledge, to pursue. Sorry. As I have mentioned, that this final line constitutes the most important line in the poem, because it holds the main theme of the poem. The main theme is that there must be always a search for adventure. Tennyson tries to make of his Ulysses a call for continuing the quest for knowledge. And as I said before, and as you know, that the Victorian age was the age of science, was the age of knowledge, was the age of scientific developments, and this thirst for knowing more and more about life. And here Tennyson tries to hail this idea of love of knowledge. So as if the writer wants to say that in order to face the struggles of life, one must continue striving, finding solutions, seeking for the opportunity to win, and never to surrender. So here the last line is holding the main theme of the poem. As for the form, ladies, the form of the poem is a dramatic monologue. In fact, the whole poem is said by, or is articulated by a single character whose identity is not mentioned, in words, but we can perceive his identity from the title of the poem. In fact, we have also this poem. This poem is written in iambic pentameter. It is divided into 4 paragraphs, like sections, but mentally and psychologically, it is divided into 3 stages. If we want to talk about the moral or psychological stages of the poem. And many scholars have identified this poem as the first dramatic monologue. It is not only a monologue, it is a dramatic monologue in the poetry of Victorian age.